Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Well, it's the title of today's show, of course, one tweet to rule them all. Or was it one tweet to ruin it all? We're going to look into that and a whole bunch more, how that's affected the market and the market structure. Where do we see altcoins going from here in particular? Because they had been running hot. The market had been running hot. Bitcoin had a new all-time high. We're going to look at that and a whole bunch more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments. So we had been looking at the three charts yesterday, which were, of course, were the Bitcoin dominance chart. And the positive thing that we've seen is we didn't see a massive pump in Bitcoin dominance. Now, it is starting to rise, don't get me wrong. And this was the wick. There's a flight into Bitcoin, and that's what generally happens when there's fear and panic in the market. Unfortunately, I cannot access Twitter because it is just not loading for me. I would show you the tweet where the president tweeted that there would be tariffs on Apple, Samsung, and Europe, and the market just went into a straight panic. I would bring that up for you there. And so you can see that starting today, we are struggling there with Bitcoin dominance. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, whether this makes a little bit of a bull flag and then continues to the upside, or will we see further breakdown. Now, what we'd seen is we'd seen a breakdown from Bitcoin dominance, potentially a lower high. And I'm not prepared to say that's a lower high just yet. This could just turn into and then continue and be a V-shaped recovery. And then we go on and make a higher high, which would mean altcoin season that we've had would be over. And of course, I showed you the USDT dominance chart, and I want to have a look at what happened to that. We did see, of course, and this is always a clear sign that it's time to get into markets because USD dominance is going out and flowing into Bitcoin and altcoins. And again, this is a positive sign. We have an indecision candle there, and so it's not negative. So for me, that's positive after what happened yesterday, okay, that we haven't had a buy signal, and that means buy USDT. Okay, so you got to think about this as when we see this green, there's the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all. And this I'm going to use to get out of the market, because when we see these green buy signals, that's to sell your altcoins and be buying them into USDT. And look what happens as a result. And then the reversal is you sell your USDT into altcoins. And so this indicator is proving to be absolutely spot on. You can see it is there. It is a Discord only indicator for the Tribal Trades Discord. And so you would need to join the Tribal Trades Discord to get access to that indicator. And so currently we don't have a buy signal yet here. And so we're going to watch this chart. We are under the 200-day moving average now. So obviously, if we stay under that, that's good. And if we continue to the downside, that would be money flowing out of USDT and into alts and into Bitcoin. It's when it starts to go up the other way that we want to get out, okay? And you look at here, the dates that it would have got you out would have been the March the 26th of 2024, and then December the 16th of 2024. We're going to look at those dates in a moment. March the 6th of 2024 and December the 16th of 2024 there. Okay, so that's what we've got at the moment. So there's no, right now, we're just in a holding pattern, a wait and see how this plays out over this Memorial weekend, and obviously what other tweets are going to come out where one man has the power to move the markets like that. Don't necessarily agree that that should be the case, but it is what it is. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. And then looking at the overall altcoin market, you can see, again, we're struggling with that 200-day moving average. And there were these buy signals that we had, of course, here on the around about the 7th, between the 7th and the 14th of April. That was our buy signal to get into altcoins and get into altcoin season. Now, look, when this has happened before, I just want to show you, here we are we got this buy signal. Well, we actually got the buy signal down here on the 18th of September. So that would have been the ideal, but we got a second buy signal here. But where we can really see where there's a real push of these 5 weeks leading up, and you get 5 green candles. You notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get that sell signal to get you out of altcoins. And lo and behold, it's the 25th of March, 2024, which lines up to our signal here, March the 25th, 2024, bang on. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the USDT to give us the green signal and the altcoin chart to give us the red trade sell signal, and that will get you out of your altcoins each time, and has been 100% accurate. Look at this, the tribal trades indicator would get you out, and you would know exactly when to sell your altcoins and exactly when to buy them. And so let's look again at the next time that we got this buy signal here on the 16th of September. But the real parabolic, what do we get again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles. Okay, so we have there's some upside there, but it's a mixture of red and green. There's some upside there, and sure, you do want to get in here on the 18th of September 2023, and you do want to get up here on the 16th of September 2024. That gave you that buy signal. However, the real parabolic move came here with 5 green candles. Now, we haven't had that. We're getting a mix of green and red. So if this repeats, and we do see something like this, we could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles and then top out. So let's see what happens here. We need to stay above this. I'd want to see tomorrow close on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to see this close above the 200-day moving average there. Otherwise, we could come back and retest the 50-day moving average down here, and that could be a little bit more of a sell-off for altcoins, okay? But then look at what the sell signal gave us on the around the 9th of December, 2024. Let's have a look here. What did it give us, for the 9th of December, 2024? There it is there, the 16th of December. So there it is. That's your place to get out of altcoins, because now people are buying USDT. That means they're selling their altcoins into USDT. So it gave that signal on the 16th of December, and it gave the sell signal pretty much on the 9th of December, so 1 week early. So between those two, that could have gotten you out of the market right at the top using the tribal trades indicator. Now, next time, what do we see? We see it entry here on around about the 14th of April, gave the buy signal to get back into altcoins, and we've seen a really incredible run to the upside there so far, and we'll just see what happens and what shakes out there. And you can see on the 14th of April. And so let's look at around about the 14th of April. So on the disc around the 14th of April, you can see giving these great levels. Bitcoin was still at 83,000. Sui was still at $2.25. Ondo at 81, Solana 131. Imagine if you'd got in at all these levels. So I was doing previous buy levels, and then I said here, this last opportunity to get trades in and any final buys on Bitcoin before the bull market resumes, okay? Why? Because my trading system works. I put that on the 17th. Look what happened on the 14th, and look what happened afterwards. Parabolic moves to the upside. And so you would have seen, Bitenza Tau went up almost 200%. Sui has gone up incredibly high. Also, I believe almost up almost to 200% as well. Just being in the right altcoins as well is very important. And so just the importance to be in the number one is to get in at the right time. Get in at the right time and get out at the right time. Number two is to be in the right altcoins at the right time, okay? And so, we're identifying the right times, but we're also identifying the right altcoins, and we're going to talk about that more in upcoming shows this week. So keep an eye out for that, why I have chosen the altcoins that I've chosen and why they have done so well there, okay? Now let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart here. So we're going to move away from altcoins and Bitcoin dominance and just see what the king is doing here as we jump into Bitcoin and just take a quick look. And as you can see for Bitcoin, had that sell-off yesterday, and there gave us a nice little sell-off. Actually, it gave us the sell signal the day before and gave us the heads up there, the tribal trades indicator, that maybe trouble was brewing, and of course that's what ended up happening. We saw this big red candle. Now that is a bearish engulfing candle there, but it did come of quite reduced volume. So there could have been, well, obviously there was highly manipulated there. And so I just think it's important to see that we are getting a little bit of a recovery, and I really would want to see that brought back up, and we could eat that back up there would be great. But let's look at the weekly, because we do have the weekly close tomorrow, and the candle is an indecision at the moment. We've got a long wick to the downside and a long wick to the upside, although currently this wick here is a lot larger, and we do have that was a very bullish close there as well. You can see a bit of a hammer candle there. So I'm looking for something similar. This can really come up and eat up a lot of this wick. That would be absolutely fantastic. And of course, we did have the golden cross, which I talked about was coming, and I shared what would happen once we have a golden cross. Generally speaking, the last time it happened was we had that move up from the 60s up to $108,000. Okay, now this here, I think this was just as a result of one tweet to rule them all. So I would call this a little bit of an anomaly, a little bit of a black swan event, and maybe this is this going to ruin the momentum? That's the question. Has this candle ruined the momentum of the market, and now we're going to see downside instead of seeing what I think we would have seen more upside leading into the Bitcoin conference? Generally, there's a big pump into the Bitcoin conference, and then it's a bit of a sell the news event, maybe just before, during, or after the conference. So it'll be interesting to see what plays out here, because I do think the momentum was completely interrupted. You can see on the momentum indicators here, we were pumping up, and this just seemed to go up, and then all of a sudden, whoop, to the downside there, and the market structure from a momentum perspective completely changed. So the bulls are trying to get back this momentum here, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens here if this can be retained. Now, what are the key levels to hold? It's going to be, as you can see, this 106 level, 106,500. There's a key Fibonacci level there, and we have held it. But if we lose that, then I would think the 20 EMA on the daily comes in at 104,100. There is another Fibonacci level there. Now, what's the worst case scenario that I can think of? The worst case scenario is we come back and retest down here at 94,500, which is where the 50-day moving average is. Now, when there has been a golden cross, I've shown you previously that Bitcoin generally does come back to retest it at some point, usually not that quick. Usually there's a big push to the upside first before it then comes back to retest it. So it would be a little bit unusual for it to retest it so quick there. So that would be interesting to see if that were to play out in that scenario. And then, of course, if we were to lose that, then there's some warning signals for me there and I would probably think on the weekly time frame we might have broken down at that point as well. So we just have to see how that plays out there. We have had some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles in a row. I'm not sure when the last time we had 7 green candles in a row. Maybe over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in a row. So we are due for a little bit of a pullback correction. Maybe we do see that. Maybe we do print another 8th candle there. So don't look at this and go, oh no, it's over. I mean, this is kind of precedented that we're seeing this. Even in this big parabolic move here, we only had 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles. Then we had a red candle, and then 5, 6, and then we saw a bit of a breakdown there. So this will be very interesting. Some people say, oh, it's a bit of a double top there, and possibly there's an argument for that, and that this did happen fairly quickly, but a little bit of a cool off is not such a bad thing. It's just how much of a cool off are we going to get? Again, I'm going to be looking for the indicators right now on the daily time frame. The momentum is down. That's a sell signal there, and that's there. And then I would be looking conversely for the momentum indicators to shift back to the upside. Of course, if you want to get all the latest updates, live sessions with me, you can join the Tribal Trades Discord, and of course the Tribal Trades indicator there. It's got it'll be called the buy sell indicator, the Tribal Trades buy sell indicator, and it's for Tribal Trades Discord members only. There is a link below in the description of this video. You just need to click the more button. That will pop out, and you will see the link there, and you can get signed up, and there's analysis, resources, latest news, trade setups, live trading signals there. And of course, we have full leverage trading for those if you want to learn how to short the market and make money when it does this. You can make money to the downside, okay? And so full education and entertainment as well, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purpose only. Are you not entertained? And so until the next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.